Welcome, explorers of history. Today we step into a place where time itself seems to pause, where empires rose and fell, faiths clashed and merged, and secrets have been hidden for centuries. This is Hagia Sophia, the Holy Wisdom, standing in the heart of Istanbul, a monument whose walls have witnessed more history than most cities can imagine. But what if I told you that beneath its golden mosaics and soaring dome, there are hidden stories, secret chambers, and mysteries that even most historians are just beginning to uncover? Stay with me, because what you are about to see will change the way you think about this world-famous landmark forever. Chapter 1: Foundations and Vision. In the heart of what was once called Constantinople, modern Istanbul, stands the majestic Hagia Sophia, the Holy Wisdom. A monument whose very stones echo the hopes, devotions, and power plays of empires. The site itself goes back far before the splendid church we know today. In the early 4th century, under Constantine I, the first Christian basilica was erected here on the foundations of a pagan temple. But as the city grew, its faith and ambitions outgrew the earlier building. In 532 CE, the imperial court erupted in the Nika riots, and the old church was burned. Into that breach stepped Justinian I, reigned 527–565, determined to build not just a church, but a monument to Christian empire, to the glory of God, and to his own reign. He commissioned two architects, Anthemius of Tralles and Isidorus of Miletus, skilled in geometry and mechanics, to design what would become an architectural wonder. In just about 6 years, 532–537, the new Hagia Sophia rose, wide-bodied, crowned by a soaring dome that seemed to float above the nave, underscored by innovations in support and space. When the dedication took place in December 537, Justinian is said to have whispered, "Solomon, I have surpassed thee," a grand gesture of imperial ambition. Thus begins the story of Hagia Sophia, a structure born from devotion, from state power, from architectural daring. Every marble slab, every mosaic, every column came as part of that vision. Chapter 2: Architectural Marvel and Symbolism. What makes Hagia Sophia more than just a big church? It is the marriage of basilica and dome, of earthly structure and heavenly aspiration. The main dome, nearly 31 meters in diameter, is supported on pendentives, curved triangular links, rather than heavy straight supports. A bold and novel design at the time. Light streams in through windows at the dome's base, creating the effect that the dome floats above the nave, a metaphor for divine presence. The interior dazzles. Elaborate marble revetments, exotic stones from across the empire, vast galleries, and mosaics depicting Christ, the Virgin, emperors, angels. Every element proclaimed the unity of heaven and earth, and the might of the Byzantine state. This was not simply a place of worship, it was the symbolic heart of an empire. Emperors were crowned here. Delegations arrived across the seas. The building itself was a statement. We are Christian Rome, renewed and lofty. But the structure was not free of peril. In 558, an earthquake caused the south part of the dome to collapse. It had to be rebuilt, and slightly lowered, in 562. Still, the building endured. For nearly 1,000 years, the preeminent church of the Eastern Christian world. Chapter 3: Religious and Political Upheavals. Hagia Sophia's history is deeply bound to the ebb and flow of faiths and empires. For over 9 centuries, it served as the cathedral of the ecumenical Patriarchate of Constantinople, the spiritual center of Eastern Orthodox Christianity. Yet its fortunes changed dramatically. In 1204, during the Fourth Crusade, Crusader forces sacked Constantinople. The church was stripped, desecrated, and converted into a Catholic cathedral under the Latin Empire. After recovery in 1261, it returned to Orthodox worship, but the city's power was waning. Finally, in 1453, the Ottoman Sultan Mehmed II, Mehmed the Conqueror, entered Constantinople, marking the end of Byzantium. He ordered Hagia Sophia to be converted into a mosque. Under Ottoman rule, the building took on new additions. Minarets were built, a mihrab, prayer niche, inserted toward Mecca, Islamic calligraphy panels added, Christian mosaics plastered or hidden. In the 19th and early 20th centuries, restoration works took place under successive sultans and engineers, sometimes with European involvement. Then came the Republican period. In 1935, under Mustafa Kemal Ataturk and the Secular Republic of Turkey, Hagia Sophia was converted from mosque to museum, symbolically opening the building as a World Heritage Site, not just a place of one faith. Yet the story does not end there. In July 2020, the Turkish government reclassified Hagia Sophia as a mosque again, a decision that sparked international debate over cultural heritage. Thus, Hagia Sophia is a living witness to religious transformation, imperial ambition, political change, its very identity shifting with each epoch. Chapter 4. Hidden Layers and Secrets. Beneath the visible splendor of marble and gold lie stories less overt. Hidden mosaics, underground crypts, structural modifications, and the marks of time. For example, many Byzantine mosaics of Christ Pantocrator, Desis scenes, imperial portraits were concealed or plastered over during the mosque conversion, only to be partially uncovered in modern times. Archaeologists and conservators have discovered underground spaces beneath the building tunnels, vaults, rooms whose purpose over centuries shifted, from storage to tombs to structural reinforcement. The layering of faiths is also palpable. Stones reused from pagan temples, Christian iconography, Islamic inscriptions, Ottoman structural buttresses added to support the dome after earthquakes. Moreover, the building's structural story is fascinating. The original dome collapsed. Buttresses were added. The building leans slightly. Engineers now monitor it for seismic risk. In each stone and vault there lies a whisper, of craftsmen, of emperors, of worshippers, hidden in plain sight. Chapter 5. Heritage, Preservation, and the Modern Era. Today, Hagia Sophia is more than a place of worship. It is a symbol, a contested space, a global heritage site. In 1985, it was designated part of the UNESCO World Heritage List, Historic Areas of Istanbul. In recent years, Turkey has embarked on major restoration efforts, especially to safeguard the building from earthquake damage. In 2025-2026, large reinforcement works were initiated for the dome and half-domes. These projects face complex challenges. How to preserve Christian mosaics beneath plaster. How to allow worship and tourism. How to honor multiple layers of history without erasing one for the sake of another. Hagia Sophia's dual or multiple identities make it a focal point of debates, religious, cultural, political. For some, it remains a Christian cathedral's heart. For others, a glorious mosque of the Ottoman age. For many, a world heritage to be shared by all. As visitors walk beneath its dome, they stand literally in the shadow of empire, in the space of sacred geometry, and in the meeting of time's long sweep. Chapter 6. What it teaches us. If Hagia Sophia teaches anything, it is that buildings carry more than bricks and mortar. They carry memory, power, faith, change. From its founding under Justinian to its conversion under Mehmed, from its museum phase to its reconversion, every chapter reflects a transformation of the world around it. It reminds us that architecture is not static. It lives, adapts, is repurposed. It reminds us that faiths merge and juxtapose, that history is layered, that a single space can mean many things to many people. Standing inside Hagia Sophia now, one can sense the silent prayer of emperors, the hush of worshippers, the echo of footsteps across centuries, the soft glow of mosaics, the stark script of calligraphy, and perhaps, if one listens, even the sigh of time itself. Epilogue. So let us end our narrative here, standing under the great dome, gazing at the mingled light and shadow. The building that began in 537 CE still stands, though altered, layered, cherished, contested. Hagia Sophia is no longer just church, no longer just mosque, no longer just museum. It is a crossroads of human history, our devotion, our ambition, our art, our faith, our politics. And in that, it remains eternally relevant.